Thank you, Dustin. 13 News at 5 tonight on this Monday night begins with breaking news.
Right now, Indianapolis Metro Police are investigating a woman's death on the near southeast side of the city. Officers found her body outside a house near East Raymond Street and South Sherman Drive.
They've been out there over the last 4 hours, and our Karen Campbell's been out there all afternoon as well.
She joins us live tonight with a look at what she's learned about this active investigation. Karen, please fill us in.
Yeah, so we just spoke with someone who's believed to be her father. He's very, of course, upset. A lot of questions here. Police are still investigating. They are again, they started this investigation after 1 o'clock here on Wagner Lane. They tell us that a woman's body was found in a wooded area here off Wagner Lane. This is a community filled with families and children. Family, of course, very upset about what's going on when they heard the news that their loved one had passed away. We spoke to a woman who says she's the neighborhood president of this neighborhood, and nothing like this has ever happened. Now, she does tell us the victim, again, who is a woman. She says this woman moved into this neighborhood almost a week ago, so she was new to this area, and it's just heartbreaking to hear that someone had to call 911 to report that they saw a body, again, in this wooded area off Wagner Lane. This is a dead-end road, and her body was found in a wooded area. Now, we did speak with police who told us that this is a very disturbing crime. Take a listen to what else they had to say.
We all have families. We all have neighbors in this community, and to respond to a disturbing scene of this nature is devastating and disturbing. And so our detectives are going to be hard at work. We have numerous that are here on scene or that are going to be working day and night to try to determine what led up to this.
So police also tell us that the victim, her family reported her missing this morning because they haven't heard from her this weekend. And police are canvassing the area, hoping someone has any kind of doorbell camera video that they may have seen something or heard something to help them determine the cause of death for this woman who was found again off Wagner Drive or Wagner Lane here on the southeast side of Indianapolis.
All right, Karen Campbell reporting live for us tonight. Thanks. We'll check back as you learn more information. Also on this Monday night, we're learning the names of several people who were shot and killed over the weekend here in Indianapolis.
One of those shootings happening just after 9 o'clock Saturday morning near North Linwood Avenue and East Washington Street, which is on the east side.
Officers say they found 2 men shot when they arrived on the scene, and since the Marion County coroner has identified those men as 49-year-old Jason Clark and 41-year-old Gary Reed. The Marion County coroner also made the identification of a man who was killed in another shooting on the east side. Metro Police say that they found 35-year-old Cordero Duncan shot near 30th and North Sherman on Sunday morning. Officers have yet to share any information about a possible suspect in this case.
Another person is now under arrest after a mass shooting in Anderson this summer. The shooting happened at an anti-violence block party back on July 21st. Anderson police told us they made their most recent arrest last Thursday. 4 people between the ages of 19 and 21 are facing charges in the case. 2 others have not been charged. Officers tell us a juvenile is under arrest too. 7 people between the ages of 18 and 25 were hurt in the shooting.
Looking ahead, this Indianapolis City County Council is set for a very big vote tonight.
Councilors will decide whether to create a committee to look into how the city handles employee complaints of sexual harassment and what, if anything, needs to be changed or going forward.
So calls for this committee follow allegations from the mayor's former deputy mayor, Thomas Cook, accused of sexually harassing 2 women, one who worked for the city, the other worked for his campaign. Emily Longnecker joins us now with what the committee would do if the councilors vote to create this council tonight. Emily?
Well, Ann and Felicia, you know, there's already been a lot of bipartisan calls for the creation of this kind of investigative committee after those allegations came out last month against the mayor's former deputy mayor, Thomas Cook. Keep in mind, right now, the city is also investigating 6 other allegations of harassment, with a 7th investigation leading to the firing last week of a staff administrator for violating the city's sexual harassment policy. That's according to an email sent by the mayor to staff last week. Now, if created, this investigative committee would be tasked with hiring an outside law firm to dig into records and complaints of harassment if they were filed and see how the city handled those. The law firm would also make recommendations on what, if anything, needed to change. The 7-member committee would also look into the city's current HR policies, examining recent measures put in place by the mayor, like requiring annual sexual harassment training for all employees, not just supervisors. Now, we spoke today with Lauren Roberts, who says Thomas Cook sexually harassed her while she worked on the Hogsett campaign in 2015. Roberts says she told the mayor what happened 2 years after leaving the campaign. Mayor Hogsett has said Roberts' claims were investigated, but Roberts says no one ever contacted her for an investigation.
I think all of the changes he is implementing are things that Caroline and I demanded in a letter that we sent to him and to the city county council president. So I don't see this as something that should be applauded because he's doing the right thing. He's doing the bare minimum that should have been happening from the beginning because survivors came forward and we demanded it.
And Roberts there, speaking of Carolyn Ellert, who also came forward with Roberts last month to say that she was also sexually harassed by Thomas Cook while she worked for the city. Now, in the wake of the demands of these women, several council members then called for an investigative committee, and that brings us to tonight's vote. The council meeting starts at 7 o'clock, and we'll have the results of that meeting tonight on 13 News at 11. Ann, Felicia?
All right, Emily, we'll look for that report tonight. Thank you so much. Meantime, let's talk about the weather on this Monday. It is beautiful out there, 79 degrees. There's a live look downtown, not a cloud in the sky. Good job, Angela.
If we have to start another work week, let's do it with sunshine and 70s.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yes, that's a good way to come to work. Thanks, Angela.
I did wear my winter coat with a hat and gloves to walk the dog this morning, though, when it was 44 degrees.
Yeah.
We recovered nicely.
It did recover nicely from 40s and low 50s to this morning to 70s to near 80 this afternoon. Not quite as chilly, but you might need a sweatshirt again tomorrow morning. We'll check that Tuesday morning forecast in just a second. View across central Indiana shows the sunny skies. 75 degrees at Morris Reservoir. We're at 79 Noblesville, 77 Greensburg, 77 Crawfordsville, and currently 76 degrees in Connorsville in the eastern part of the state. These temperatures are up about 10 degrees from this time yesterday. We are up 10 in Indianapolis, Greencastle, Bloomington, Muncie, and Richmond, so not quite as chilly tonight. Evening temperatures will stay close to 70 all the way through 8 p.m. Late evening drop into the 60s at the bus stop tomorrow morning. Low 50s to start for a mild morning that will warm quickly. We'll be in the mid 60s by 10 a.m. Eventual high temperatures tomorrow afternoon into the 80s, and it's the beginning of a warming trend. We're going to talk more about that and get you updated on a new tropical storm. This is Francine. Lots to cover in the full forecast.
All right, we will check back. Thank you so much, Angela. Tonight we have an update. A man is recovering from burns after a house fire on the northeast side of Indy.
Our Matthew Foltz shares what he learned from investigators at the scene.
Indianapolis fire marshals and investigators are searching through this charred up home, trying to figure out exactly how this fire started. Meanwhile, the chief tells me that smoke detectors likely saved this man's life who was burned.
IFD says the call came in shortly after 5 this morning to this home along Aspen Court just off of 42nd Street on the city's east side. Once on scene, firefighters say they found one man outside of the home who was burned. He was rushed to a nearby hospital for treatment. The chief tells me they found no one else in the home, which is now a total loss. One car was damaged that was parked outside the home. The chief says in this case, smoke detectors were working and likely alerted the man before things got worse.
I just want to emphasize, someone can't make sure smoke detectors are working. That probably helped this gentleman tonight.
And we're still working to get an update on the man's condition who was burned and sent to the hospital. Of course, any new information that we get, we'll be sure to pass along to you. Reporting on Indy's northeast side, I'm Matthew Foltz, 13 News.
Thank you, Matthew. Also tonight, firefighters are trying to figure out what caused a house fire in Henry County. Knightstown firefighters shared this video with us showing the flames when they first arrived at the home. They were able to get it under control in about 15 minutes Sunday night. One person was hurt in the fire. The department has not shared any details about the extent of those injuries.
Tonight, the Marion County coroner is identifying a woman who was killed in a crash on the north side of Indianapolis, identifying the victim as 52-year-old Martha Henriquez. Police say that she was driving a car that was involved in a crash on Sunday morning. Here's the scene on Kessler Boulevard East Drive near Fall Creek Road on the near north side. First responders took the man who was driving the van to the hospital for a blood draw. However, they didn't notice any signs that he was driving impaired. Two other people in the van, also hospitalized, were told they do have minor injuries.
School has started, but so has all the online threats against them.
It was just over the weekend right here in Indianapolis that the Warren Township School District says that a student posted on Instagram a threat to shoot up the school. Today, our Chase Howell went to Perry Meridian School where they were put on secure status on Friday.
I'm Chase Howell here on the city's south side after 3 people were taken into custody after making online threats against their schools. You're going to hear from a lawmaker who authored a bill restricting access to phones in the classroom. Plus, you're going to hear from parents about those recent threats.
My son said I shouldn't have anything to worry, but you know, you never know. But it's a scary thing.
That's all coming up at 6.
Thank you, Chase. Hamilton County, Indiana now holds the title for the highest average math proficiency in the U.S.
An Excel team study reveals the county's scoring is more than 14% above the national average.
Very different from the state as a whole, ranking 30th amongst all states.
Those with the lowest scores include Louisiana, Mississippi, and New Mexico.